Along the banks of Muddy Creek, a major tributary to the Cheat, the owner of the TNT mine attempted to divert excess water from his mine through a neighboring mine. The illegal attempt backfired, and an eruption of acid-laden water poured into Muddy Creek.
The water pressure built up so high inside the mine that it blew out plugs that were put in the old portals. All of that water blew out of the mine virtually overnight.
Unfortunately, the whole complexion changed in this area when the TNT blowout happened. It's a harsh reality to go down in the water that's below Muddy Creek.
Of course, it wasn't the first time that Muddy Creek was polluted, but this was certainly the worst thing that I'd seen in here in this area in 20 years.
It was a second blowout of AMD from the same mine that spawned the organization that would forever change the fate of the Cheat watershed.
About that same time, Friends of the Cheat, one of our early meetings got together. I believe it was early summer of '94.
This group of friends, drawn together by the river itself, were moved and motivated by the events unfolding around them.
The funny thing about the Friends of the Cheat was, the first thing we did is we all sat down and we wrote a list of maybe 100 things that we were going to do to fix the world. In no time at all, we found out that we weren't worthy. And so what we tried to do is become an effective organization that could go out and express our agenda.
Fledgling organizations often fail due to lack of leadership. The Friends of the Cheat were lucky to have Dave Bassage.
Well, most of our efforts have been focused on partnerships, coalition building, and trying to show that we really are all in the same boat and getting a lot of people to work together for a common cause.
We have a small board that works well, and Dave Bassage is the executive director. Has been able to work in partnership with a lot of the organizations in the state and federal government.
We've looked at the bigger problem of all the acid mine drainage in the watershed, and we've put together a really interesting coalition of government agencies, conservation groups, and then private industry who are all pooling their resources to address the problem. We call it the River of Promise Shared Commitment. And so far we've been able to bring $6 million worth of reclamation work right here into the watershed. We've got a lot more on the drawing board, and we've put together kind of a master plan that should be able to bring aquatic life back here to the Cheat Canyon, as well as the streams that feed it.
One of the most successful tools for raising both awareness and funds for the Friends of the Cheat has been the Cheat Festival.
This festival is a great time. We've got a lot of people in the whitewater community that come here and a lot of manufacturers with that, but it's also a lot of family-oriented activity, and this year we put a lot of stress on that. And there's just a whole lot of different activities going on, and every year it seems like it gets a little bigger, a little more popular, and it's also a big money raiser for us as well.
The fact that 1,500 people a year show up to pay their money to say, yeah, let's fix the Cheat, that says something. That's a lot of people who say that this is in our interest. This is what we want.
Friends of the Cheat are really what basically gotten a lot of the progress towards cleaning up the environment here. They're the ones that have gotten it together. I mean, just like this festival itself, hundreds of people, of the Friends of the Cheat members, get together to do this.
It's real impressive to me and to other people in Charleston to see this type of activity occurring. It makes it much easier for me to go down and lobby for funds when you can show such a local effort. It makes my job a lot easier, really.
When we drafted the River of Promise document, the mission statement, I think if you had been in the room with the government agencies, Friends of the Cheat, Anchor employees, I don't think you could tell who was who. It was just that much cooperation.
That's another thing about the Friends of the Cheat is that we've been successful.
We've been able to, in the last couple of years, successfully bring some money in to start treatment. It'll take a long time to fix it up. This is realistically probably a 20-year project.
The Friends of the Cheat immediately realized that cooperation was going to be the key element for any chance of progress.
Our first project was on Greens Run, which was a project that was funded by Anchor Energy.
A few of us concerned citizens here in the watershed sat down to a breakfast meeting with John Faltis, the president of Anchor Energy.
We want to be a team with the West Virginia Rivers Coalition, with the Friends of the Cheat, and really turn this ugly situation around and eliminate acid mine drainage on the Cheat River.
Sure enough, we found out that they were sincere and not only wanted to make a difference here, but set an example regionally and nationwide of responsible business, responsible industry, giving back to the community and the environment.
He asked me to just scout around and see what we could find that we thought we could really help.
In designing the passive system at Greens Run, we did have a fair amount of area to deal with, and so we built a very large anoxic limestone drain, and it worked very well for the first little while.
Monitoring of Greens Run began to show initial design flaws that only inspired the team to further pioneer new techniques.
It's opportunities like this where we can watch specific installed systems. That's what allows us to learn something.
We completed the Greens Run project in late '95. It's had a few problems, but right now we're neutralizing about 57 tons of acid per year that goes into the Cheat.
The Friends of the Cheat also learned that partnering with business alone would not be enough. Their next project at Sovereign Run pulled from much larger resources.
We wanted the DEP's umbrella. In other words, we wanted their blessing, we wanted them involved in it. So we went to them, we met Rick Buckley in that same process, and it just seemed to balloon from there.
Recently, we were able to obtain $80,000 from EPA in the form of a grant for one specific project, and that project is Sovereign Run.
Once again, the Friends of the Cheat saw a way to make something positive happen.
So the Friends of the Cheat, which has a technical committee, all got together, and this team put together a plan which involved raising the level of this pond here with this little dike, backing the water up over the top of the mine pool to cut off the oxygen supply in there.
The water that is in this pond is acidic, does need to be treated, so we run it down 684 feet of open limestone channel. That length is sufficient to treat 100% of the acid load that leaves this site.
The significance of this project for us is not just the very important improvements it's making in water quality, but that we were able to put our partnership to work and actually get practical results out of this diverse team that we have.
Friends of the Cheat represent an important part of the equation because there isn't enough government money to do it all, and so we'll need volunteer efforts and nonprofit communities, county and local governments making a contribution where they can.
The coal companies themselves make a contribution by paying fees based upon the amount of coal that is mined.
We pay 15 cents a ton for deep mine coal and 35 cents a ton for surface mine coal since 1977. And we got billions of dollars in DC.
Each year about $265 million comes in from the coal industry paying production fees. And so what we are hearing from the impacted communities is that we'd like to see more of the revenues that are flowing in each year appropriated out to the state.
You really gotta get in there and spend money and go to work.
Friends of the Cheat did go to work again in the year 2000 when they began the McCarty High Wall project.
We're standing here on the McCarty High Wall project at leach bed number 2. This will be the one furthest downstream. What we're doing here is Jennifer's sampling what will be the outfall from leach bed number 2 here. Again, we're getting pre-construction water quality data. This will allow us to set the performance of the entire McCarty High Wall project. The end result here will be the acidic water coming in will be turned circumneutral, the metals will drop out in the open limestone channel, and Beaver Creek will receive good water.
The efforts of the Friends of the Cheat have not only impacted water quality, but more importantly has served as a model for other watershed-related organizations.
I have been a board member with Friends of the Cheat, and I'm also a board member with the CLEAR organization, the Cheat Lake Environmental Recreation Association. CLEAR has been around for over 10 years, working very tightly with Allegheny Energy to work on the development of the Cheat Lake Trail, is what you see in the background here.
The recreational development and much of the work that's been done on Cheat Lake is a result of the relicensing of the hydropower project that started in 1990. There have been numerous meetings over the last 10 years that culminated in this development. Most of this is predicated on the fact that the water quality on the lake has improved markedly in the last 10 or 12 years.
The Friends of the Cheat has done some excellent work upstream, cleaning up some of the acid mine drainage problems, and of course we benefit directly from that. The water in Cheat Lake has been improving over the last few years, improving significantly enough that the northern pike fisheries has been started by DNR.
The fish population is a result of everything that's going on in the watershed. And we can talk about improvements in water quality and that the pH has gotten better, the acidity has decreased, but people can't see that. But they can see and relate to an improvement in the fish population. They know when they go out here and they catch a largemouth bass that's 12 inches or they catch 5 walleyes, they know what that means.
The key to this whole cleanup is the government agencies and all the partnerships we built, working together, bringing money in, doing this planning, and then seeing the work go into the ground where the real cleanup is needed.
There are a number of the streams that are being treated right now, and much of the Cheat itself does not have adequate fish populations to sustain a recreational fishery. And that is one of the objectives that we have, is at least to get it to that level.
Possibly the most important accomplishment of the Friends of the Cheat is raising public awareness enough to get more people involved in the entire watershed.
But they've done a really exciting reclamation job on the Blackwater River. It's allowed them in the last couple of years to stock trout for the first time in a couple of decades in a stretch of river that never used to be able to support a fishery. And now they're in there catching trout again. And that's exactly what we hope to do down here.
One of the things we've been able to do through the Friends of the Cheat is put in some of these ideas, document what the situation looked like beforehand, document the costs, and then document the effectiveness of the treatment later on.
So it's real encouraging to see that we feel like we're headed in the right direction.
As far as the pollution goes, it's a tough fight and it's not over.
The key to it is money.
Big money.
More funds.
Money. Funds.
Money.
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 Millions of dollars to actually have a major impact on this.
We're restoring a major river system, and this just does not occur. You don't make more Cheat rivers, and we are having the opportunity here in our careers and our lifetime to bring back a river that most of the people that have lived here have never been able to experience, and that is absolutely amazing.
The Friends of the Cheat know they have a long road ahead of them, and they could use your help. To learn more about the Friends of the Cheat or what you can do to make a difference in your watershed, log on to www.cheat.org or write us at 119 South Price Street, Kingwood, West Virginia.